Hello, in this video, I'm going to demonstrate how to install ILMT, License Metric Tool, via BigFix. So this assumes, of course, that BigFix is already installed and running. It also assumes that the computer that you want to install ILMT on, which has to be Windows or Red Hat, is already reporting into BigFix. So if you're here on the left-hand side on computers and you don't see the server that you are wanting to install ILMT on, then you need to make sure that the BigFix client is installed on that server and that it's reporting in. So if it's grayed out, that means it's not reporting in and you won't be able to do what I'm about to do. But for me, this first server, the BES root server, is where the BigFix server is installed, as well as the console and where I'm at right now. And we're going to be using that today. So this is a Windows, and the steps are going to be a little bit different for Linux, but the initial steps are the same. So if all of those prereqs have already been met and you have the server ready to go and it's not grayed out, then go up to Fixes and Tasks in the top left. And then I'm going to have to scroll over a little bit here to my search bar, but we'll search for License Metric Tool. And then we have the Download IBM License Metric Tool right here. We'll select Take Action and just select the computer that you want to download ILMT to. So fairly simple, straightforward. You don't need to do anything with the execution tab or anything else. Just select the computer and then select OK. And initially, it's going to look like it didn't work or something's wrong, and that's fine. It just takes a little bit to respond. But essentially, it's going to be downloading two files. One is going to be for Windows, the other for Red Hat Linux. So it downloads both, even though this is a Windows server. So it's a little bit annoying, but that's just kind of how it is. If this is being really slow, so this shows as already being cached on the server and everything, because I just went through these steps, I think, so that's why it was really fast. But if this is being really slow, like let's say it's at 5%, then it's like 6%, and then if it's just really, really slow, you can actually go down here and grab the files through just a URL. So the Windows one is right here. It ends with .zip. And you can just copy that and paste it into your browser, and it will download it. It is HTTP, so if you're encountering an issue, then you may need to just permit HTTP, or go the route of just pasting it into your browser. Or you can do a wget command for Linux for this tar.gz file. Anyways, so once that's done, you basically need to go and unpackage it. So if you go back to the action, it shows you where it is installed. I know this is probably too small to see on my screen here, but I'll just go to the location and you'll see it a little bit easier there. So it's under Program Files x86, BigFix Enterprise. So we'll go to 86, BigFix Enterprise, and then BES installers. And then we'll see an ILMT installer folder. And it's empty, but it will populate in a minute here. Hopefully. We can go up to actions here to go back to it. And then just select the action of download IBM license metric tool. So it says not reported, but essentially once it finishes, it will show up in that directory. So it's cached on the server. It just is kind of taking its sweet time here. But we'll go to computers, and I'm just going to say send refresh, just in case that helps speed it up. They are fairly large files. They're each about 1 gig, so I just need to be a little bit patient with it. If you get an exit code, then you should be able to look up the exit code. However, the most frequent reasons for it failing are, as I mentioned, the HTTP issue. While this is waiting to report in, I'll just show you how to manipulate that a little bit more. So if you go up to fixes and tasks, or in other words, to change it so that it will do HTTPS instead of HTTP. HTTP is faster, so that's why BigFix has the download that way. But if we search for download or license metric tool, and we go to take action again, and we'll select the computer. We want to actually click OK here because we already have essentially an identical action running. But if you go to the action script here on the far right, you can find the two URLs and change it to HTTPS. So right here, you can add the S. Oh, sorry, you'll need to toggle the second option here to be able to edit it. You can add HTTPS to it and then click OK. So that's kind of the workaround if HTTP is an issue in your environment. That being said, let's go back to actions. And great, looks like it's complete. So let's go back to that directory. So if we go to our C drive here, program files x86, BigFix Enterprise, VES installers, ILMT installer, and here we have it. So then you'd extract all as admin. So let's see here. So for whatever reason, this is getting a little bit picky with me here. So let me see if I can just move it to downloads. I don't normally see that, but that's fine. All right, so we'll go here and we'll go to extract all. Doesn't really matter where you extract it to as long as you can find it easily. This isn't going to be where it installs everything to, so it's really not a concern where it's extracted to. Downloads is fine, or documents, wherever. When this is done, we're going to launch the config file and just go through that process. That's not really a config file per se. So you can do this a silent install way or through their wizard. And if you go to the setup server windows, you can then run as administrator. And then we'll take you through the steps. You can pretty much just accept the defaults for everything. We'll just do that real quick. I'll just explain any options that are maybe not as counterintuitive, but generally this part's fairly straightforward. It isn't the entire configuration you'll need to do. At the end of this, you'll launch the web page, the ILMT web page, and then you will configure the database, or databases, I should say, because you'll be creating a TemmaDB database and then also connecting to the BigFix databases. So we'll select OK here. And essentially, it's going to give you some fairly straightforward options. So it says to back things up. We'll go to next, and then we'll accept the terms. It talks about the database you need, so make sure you have, at the time of this upgrade, SQL Server 2014 is the farthest back you can go. That's in support, so make sure it's that or later or whatever it says here for when you're watching the video. And for Linux DB2, 11.5 is where you should be at. So we'll go to next. And I do have ILMT already installed the previous version, so this might just look a little bit different. but you really shouldn't need to do anything too much with the configurations for this specific installation wizard. There we go. Goes through the free space. If there is an issue with free space, it will let you know 13 gigs here is more than sufficient. And then it notes here that we'll need access to port 9081 HTTPS. So if you don't have that, you'll need to make sure that is open, and I wouldn't even continue past this necessarily until you have that open. That's gonna, if it doesn't work, you won't be able to finish the installation. But we'll click install here. And I don't think I'll finish the video. Well, I will finish the video now instead of waiting for it to finish. But at the end of this, you'll go to installation complete, and it will say, do you want to open the web page to finish the install? And I would keep that toggled as yes, so that it opens up the web page. Otherwise, you then go, you open your browser and go to HTTPS, and then your browser name, and then the semicolon at port 9081, but it will give you the URL at the very end here. So that being said, I'll stop this configuration process here and just kind of, well, I guess it's going really fast now. We'll wait just a sec. I guess I'll note here, if it fails and you want to review the TemaDB log, and I can show you where that is. So if you go to local disk, program files, IBM, LMT, and then WLP, and then user and servers, server 1, and logs, then you can see the TemaDB file, which is right here. And, or sorry, I think I said TemaDB, but just Tema. And then you can kind of see here at the bottom, particularly the most recent updates. So if you see an error, you can inspect that log. And that's true for other ILMT errors as well. With that being said, I'll close out of that, go back here, and yeah, so just going to do all this stuff. As I mentioned before, it will give you the URL at the end to where you finish the configuration. Thanks for watching. Bye.